A world of magic is already falling before this story even begins. Eternia is on the edge of collapse. Skeletor has finally taken the power he chased for years, and the last hope of the planet is no army and no grand plan. It is one warrior, one strange inventor, and a mistake that sends the whole fight to a quiet town on Earth where nobody is ready for what is coming. The movie opens in ruin. Eternia, once locked in endless war between good and evil, now looks beaten down. The forces of Skeletor have pushed almost everyone back, and Castle Grayskull is under his control. The sorceress, the living spirit tied to the castle, has been captured. With her in chains, the balance of the whole world is breaking apart. Skeletor is no longer just a tyrant with armies and monsters at his command. He is standing on the edge of real godlike power. In the middle of that disaster, a small group of rebels is still fighting. He-Man is the greatest warrior in Eternia, but even he cannot save a conquered world alone. At his side are Teela, brave and sharp and man-at-arms, the seasoned soldier who has spent his life protecting the royal family and fighting for the future of Eternia. They are joined by a tiny inventor named Gwildor, who has built a device called the Cosmic Key. This machine can open portals across space and time by using patterns of sound. Gwildor explains that he created the key for travel, but Skeletor wants it because it can take him anywhere and make escape impossible for anyone who opposes him. The rebels free Gwildor from a prison cart and race toward the castle in a desperate attempt to rescue the sorceress before Skeletor completes his rise. Inside Castle Grayskull, Skeletor is in full control. He is not satisfied with winning the war. He wants to become the absolute master of the universe. He feeds on the power of Grayskull and declares the old age finished. Evil Lyn stands beside him, devoted but watchful. Around them are enforcers like Blade, Sarod, Beastman, and Karg, all ready to hunt down the last resistance. The rebels break into the castle and reach the sorceress, but they are too late to reverse what is already happening. Skeletor is transformed by the energy of Grayskull into something more than mortal. He-Man and the others have no choice but to run. In the chaos, Gwildor uses the cosmic key to open an escape portal, but before they can reach safety, the device is damaged and drops through the portal into another world. The rebels follow after it, hoping to recover the key before Skeletor can track them down. They arrive on Earth. Instead of towering stone halls and alien armies, the group lands in a sleepy American town at night. The warriors of Eternia are suddenly hiding in alleys and storage yards, trying to understand cars, streetlights, and ordinary buildings. They still have their weapons, but now they are in a place that has no idea magic and interdimensional war are real. Not far away, a teenager named Julie Winston is dealing with her own pain. She has recently lost both her parents in a plane crash, and that grief hangs over every part of her life. Her boyfriend, Kevin Corrigan, is kind but immature, the sort of guy who means well and still makes bad choices. Before meeting Julie, Kevin finds a strange metal instrument in a cemetery. It is the Cosmic Key. Kevin has no clue what it is. To him, it just looks like a weird futuristic keyboard. He starts pressing buttons and enjoying the sounds it makes, unaware that each tone is part of an advanced portal system. Julie soon joins him, and the two of them fool around with the device, not realizing they are holding the most important object in two worlds. Meanwhile, He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, and Gwildor search the town for the key. They know Skeletor will not be far behind, and they are right. Skeletor sends his hunters through a portal to Earth with orders to recover the Cosmic Key and kill anyone in their way. The first encounter is chaos. Kevin and Julie are suddenly caught in a battle they cannot explain. Laser fire and brute force rip through the quiet town, and the hunters almost get the key right away. He-Man steps in and saves them, giving Kevin and Julie their first look at a warrior who seems impossible. Julie and Kevin are terrified at first, but they quickly realize He-Man and his friends are the only reason they are still alive. Back in Eternia, Skeletor grows even more unstable as his power expands. He tightens his control over the sorceress, draining what remains of her strength. There is no mercy in him now. He believes the universe has already chosen its ruler, and that ruler is him. On Earth, the heroes need a safe place to regroup. They end up at Julie's school, using the empty halls and music room to work on the damaged key. Gwildor tries to repair it while the others stand guard. For a brief moment, the movie slows down and lets the two worlds meet in a more human way. Kevin is in over his head. Julie, still carrying her grief, listens closely as He-Man speaks to her about loss and courage. It is one of the few calm scenes in the movie, and it matters because Julie begins to see that pain does not have to end a life. That peace does not last. Skeletor's soldiers track the group to the school, and a huge fight explodes across the building. Ancient cosmic warriors are firing energy weapons through a normal suburban high school. Lockers, hallways, and classrooms become a battlefield. Saurod is taken out in the chaos, and the villains still manage to recover the cosmic key. This should be the end for the heroes, but Gwildor built a backup function into the device. By sheer luck and timing, the group gets another chance to use it. They escape the school and try to stop Skeletor's forces before they can return to Eternia with the key. At the same time, local police officer Lubick becomes involved. He starts as comic relief, confused by the strange behavior around town, but once he realizes something truly dangerous is happening, he still tries to help. He is completely out of his depth, yet he refuses to run. Skeletor then changes tactics. Instead of only sending hunters, he arrives on Earth himself with a force of stormtroopers. He takes control of the town center and turns the area into a temporary occupation zone. Julie and Kevin are captured. Gwildor is also taken because Skeletor knows he needs the inventor alive if he wants the cosmic key working at full power. The story then moves toward its emotional center. Julie, still processing the loss of her parents, is offered a cruel temptation. Skeletor uses the power of the key to show her the possibility of going back and seeing them again. It is manipulation, but it works because it hits the deepest wound she has. Kevin, for his part, starts to grow up under pressure. He stops acting like this is some bizarre adventure and starts trying to protect Julie and help the others. He-Man and his allies launch a rescue, leading to another series of firefights and close escapes. Beast-Man is defeated and the heroes get Julie, Kevin, and Gwildor back. But the situation remains desperate because Skeletor opens a portal and drags the conflict back to Eternia. The heroes return to Eternia for the final act, and the world they come back to is in even worse shape. Skeletor has solidified his rule. Castle Grayskull looms over everything like the center of a nightmare. The air feels dead, the resistance is nearly gone, and the sorceress is hanging on by a thread. Gwildor, feeling guilty that his invention caused so much destruction, works to get the key operating one last time. Man-at-Arms and Teela prepare for what could be a final stand. Julie and Kevin, ordinary people from Earth, find themselves in the heart of a war for an entire universe. And He-Man does what heroes in stories like this always have to do. He walks toward the darkness instead of away from it. Inside the castle, Skeletor is waiting. He is not the same enemy from the beginning. The power of Grayskull has changed him into something more monstrous and more arrogant. He believes He-Man has already lost. In a way, he is right. The world is nearly gone, the sorceress is broken, and the rebels have no army at their back. But He-Man has never been the sort of hero who wins because the odds are good. He wins because he refuses to kneel. The final confrontation begins with the rest of the group fighting through Skeletor's guards while He-Man pushes toward the throne room. Teela and Man-at-Arms hold their own against impossible numbers. Julie and Kevin try to survive in a place built for warriors. Gwildor struggles to keep the portal options open in case anyone has a chance to escape. Then He-Man faces Skeletor directly. The fight is big, loud, and dramatic. Sword against cosmic power, raw strength against dark transformation. He-Man is outmatched at first. Skeletor throws him around the chamber and seems to enjoy proving that the old champion means nothing now. For a moment, it looks like the movie might end with evil fully in control. Then the sorceress finds the strength to help. Even after everything done to her, she reaches out with the last of her power and calls He-Man back to himself. It is a reminder of what he stands for. Skeletor wants dominion. He-Man fights for life, freedom, and the right of others to choose their own future. That turns the fight. He-Man rises, takes the power sword again, and drives back against Skeletor with everything left in him. Evil overreaches. Hope refuses to die. One more push can still change everything. At last, He-Man defeats Skeletor and sends him crashing down from the heights of Castle Grayskull into a deep pit below. The castle begins to restore itself as the dark energy breaks. The sorceress is freed. Eternia begins to breathe again. After that, the movie slows down for a final emotional release. Julie is given a chance to use the cosmic key to return to the moment before her parents died. Unlike Skeletor's temptation, this chance is real. She goes back and warns them in time to prevent the crash. For Julie, the war across worlds ends with the healing of the one loss she carried from the start. Kevin is there too, changed by everything he has seen. Lubick also gets a strange reward for surviving the madness. In one of the lighter final beats, he is invited to Eternia, a fitting end for the small-town cop who stumbled into a universal war. Back in Eternia, the balance is restored for now. The heroes have survived. The castle is no longer under the grip of darkness. Skeletor is gone, at least for the moment. The sorceress is free. Teela and Man-at-Arms stand with He-Man as the defenders of their world once again. Masters of the Universe is a wild mix of cosmic fantasy and straight action, but under all the strange choices, the story stays clear. Evil wins fast when people give in. Hope survives when even a few people refuse to stop fighting. And sometimes the fate of a whole universe can turn on a lost machine, a grieving girl, and one warrior who will not stay down. That is how the battle for Eternia reaches Earth and finds its way back home again.